You know, when it comes to Augusta, there are few men who have done more and gotten less attention for it than Lester S. Moody. He was the man behind many of the projects that helped make Augusta the community it is today. The late Lester Moody was the longtime director of the Augusta Chamber of Commerce, a job he held for 38 years before retiring half a century ago. He really deserves more recognition than he's gotten. Ed Cashin, Augusta's foremost historian, once said, "Almost everything involved Augusta, he had a hand in it." A native of Jacksonville, Moody arrived in Augusta in 1926 to take over as secretary of the Augusta Chamber of Commerce. He served for 38 years. He always said he drove here from Salisbury, North Carolina, and it wasn't easy. Quote, "There wasn't a paved road leading into Augusta," he once told a newspaper reporter. "It took nearly 3 hours to drive from Aiken." Moody made highway paving his first endeavor with the chamber, but it wasn't the last. He was a genius at getting help from powerful allies in Washington, and his timing was perfect. His friendships with U.S. Senators Dick Russell and Walter F. George and South Carolina's Congressman Mendel Rivers benefited our town. It also helped that those men were at the peak of their powers in the 1940s and 50s and 60s as they held seniority in Washington, and that seniority could be translated into government funding. During World War II, Moody lobbied intensively for Camp Gordon, then a training camp for Army recruits and draftees, and then campaigned to make it a permanent fort. After the war, he lobbied for money to build a dam on the Savannah River. He came home with the $86 million Clarks Hill Dam and Reservoir and its hydroelectric plant needed, and although now called Thurman Lake, its value remains. The dam's low-cost electricity helped convince the federal government to build what was then called the Savannah River Plant, now Savannah Riverside. With the weapons plant came thousands of good-paying jobs. He also joined other Augustans to push development of Bush and Daniel Fields. Moody retired from the Augusta Chamber in 1964, having become its director. By that time, he had received the U.S. Army's highest award for civilians, the Decoration for Outstanding Civilian Service, the first resident of the Southeast to receive the commendation. There's no statue in Augusta to Lester Moody, but he does have monuments. Fort Gordon, the Savannah River Nuclear Site, the Clark Hill Dam, Thurman Lake, many, many more. He proves it's true. You can accomplish a lot if you don't care who gets credit. Just ask Lester Moody.